Now on CoastTV News.
Short-term rental ban. Ocean City considering extending its moratorium on new licenses.
Burning for a change, a letter to Lewis prompting a potential ban on beach bonfires. Businesses say it's unfair.
The future of trams in Ocean City has been decided. Why Ocean City says the popular boardwalk option won't be coming back.
Remaining really windy for at least the next couple of days. We'll talk about the wind impact on you coming up.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
Pointing out a problem. This man says short-term rentals are ruining the neighborhood. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. We begin tonight with short-term rentals in Ocean City.
Right now, there's a moratorium on new rental licenses for short-term rentals in some parts of Ocean City. And now council is considering extending that for a whole year. CoastTV News reporter Kevin Zappe is live in Ocean City. Kevin, the council plans to have its first reading of that ordinance tonight.
Maddie, we are outside the Ocean City Council where it seems like everybody has an opinion. People we spoke with today say that they are either for the moratorium extending or they want it gone altogether. And now is the town's time to weigh both sides. Mark Winslow has lived in Mallard Island for 12 years and loves being neighbors with his daughter and grandchildren. But there's one problem, the house next door.
We saw parties going on late into the night. When they showed up with a karaoke machine and amplified it, I decided enough's enough.
According to Winslow, this house had renters throughout the summer. He even called the police 3 times over noise complaints.
Short-term rentals just bring group after group of partiers.
Winslow and his wife spoke at last Tuesday's Ocean City Council meeting in favor of extending the moratorium in residential areas and mobile homes until what he considers proper rental restrictions are in place.
The problem should have never existed, and it's been let proliferate to the point where it's almost out of control.
But Tammy Johnson disagrees. She views some of these homes as business opportunities, and she worries about what will happen if the rules are changed.
If they're not allowed to continue it on with short-term rentals, they may lose their home.
And according to Johnson, that extra income is a game changer.
I must keep the short-term rentals alive in order to keep what I have.
On Monday, the Ocean City Council will hold its first reading to extend the current moratorium in those areas, pushing the expiration date from January 3rd, 2026 to January 3rd, 2027. Voices on both sides of the debate are expected to give their opinion as the town weighs an extension that they say would give them more time to determine how to move forward. Now, Thompson says some of the Ocean City Council and people against the moratorium spoke to try and find some common ground. Now, if this first reading does pass, it'll then go to its second and final reading. And if approved, that moratorium extension will be in effect. I'm Kevin Zappe, live in Ocean City, CoastTV News.
Licenses aren't the only area of contention. This summer, there was a referendum that had reversed some of the restrictions on short-term rentals. Those rules would have required a 5-night minimum stay in 2025 and 31 nights by 2027. However, the referendum flipped that, so those rules are not going into place. Mayor Rick Meehan has defended these types of restrictions, saying they preserve the character of Ocean City's neighborhoods and protect homeowners from excessive rental activity.
Bonfires on the beach, somebody see them as a stress reliever, but one man in Lewis sees bonfires on the beach as a health problem. A letter he sent to the city could prompt a ban. CoastTV News reporter Brandon Ferguson is live in Lewis. Brandon, the city's Parks and Recreation Commission meeting is set to discuss a ban at their meeting right now.
Charlie, that discussion is the second to last topic at tonight's Parks and Recreation Committee meeting. That started at 5. And what prompted all of this was a man that has lived at this building since the 1980s. He claimed that beach bonfire smoke from Savannah Beach have reached all the way up to his balcony. Today we spoke to an event planner that does business here in Lewis because of the rules allowing beach bonfires. He says a ban wouldn't just burn away his money and other businesses like his.
In the long run, you're going to be hurting, families, and they create memories because there's not many beaches left that allow bonfires.
Curlin says people are attracted here to Lewis and Savannah Beach because how easy it is to do a beach bonfire by only getting a $25 permit from the city compared to neighboring city Rehoboth Beach, where they are already completely banned. Live in Lewis, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
In Fenwick Island, if you want to have a bonfire on the beach, you need to have a permit, but you must live in Fenwick, own property, or be a renter and at least be 18. In Dewey, you can get a permit from the town hall or online. And in Bethany and Rehoboth, as Brandon mentioned, bonfires are banned altogether.
This brings us into our Coast TV poll. We want to know, how should Lewis handle beach bonfires?
Let's take a look at the results so far. 78% say keep as is. 10% say maybe have less strict rules, 5% say strict rules, and 7% want that total ban.
If you want to write in or if you want to vote, you can do that at coasttv.com or use our mobile app. And now let's take a live look into Lewis right now. No bonfires that I can see from here, but we are going to check in with our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams.
Well, it's really about the winds more than anything else for the next couple of days. And we do have a smidgen of a chance, at least a 40% chance of a spot shower flaring up. But really, it's about the winds and how blustery it's going to stay on the beaches today, tomorrow, and possibly leaning into Wednesday. Ocean view, we can see that it's relatively calm, but we are seeing the waves come up upon the waves a little bit more. But here's a look at some of the max winds that we've been tracking throughout the day. We had a 37-mile-per-hour wind gust in Georgetown, a 36-mile-per-hour wind gust recorded in Salisbury, and a 32 for us actually in Ocean City. Where we stand right now, the winds are coming out of the west-northwest with a 27-mile-per-hour wind gust in Indian River Inlet, a 25-mile-per-hour wind gust right now being observed in Millsboro. That accompanies the fact that we have some active advisories. We have a small craft advisory in effect until 2 o'clock in the morning for Tuesday for Lewis Beach and Rehoboth, watching out for 25 to possibly 30 mile-per-hour wind gusts there. And that carries down towards Ocean Pines, Ocean City, all the way down towards Chincoteague. And not just here, but on the other side for the folks that view us in Cambridge and Castle Haven. So it's breezy all the way around. And we'll talk about the timing of that rain in our next weather segment.
Thank you, Paul. The boardwalk tram is not coming back to Ocean City. The decision comes after a 2-year-old boy was tragically hit and killed by the tram near Dorchester Street. That was August of last year. The town manager says the decision came following an internal review and consultant look at operations. The move ends a decades-long service that helped visitors cover the length of the boardwalk.
New tonight, Delaware State Police have identified 68-year-old Michael Smith as the man killed in a car crash in Lincoln, where you see it right here. State troopers say it was around 2 p.m. at the intersection of Route 113 and Johnson Road. Troopers say a Hyundai was slowing down for a light when it was rear-ended. Tragic here, it pushed the Hyundai into the path of an oncoming truck. Now, the driver of that Hyundai, Michael Smith, he was taken to the hospital and pronounced dead. The other 2 drivers were not hurt.
A commitment to keeping Breeze Airways in Wicomico County for the long haul. That airline just launched nonstop services from Salisbury to Orlando and is the first airline expansion at the Salisbury Airport in years. Tomorrow, the Wicomico County Council will take a look at an operation and space use agreement with Breeze Airways. The agreement irons out the finer details like terminal space Breeze can use and the right to actually fly people in and out of the airport.
We certainly want to get a commitment from the airline rather than an open-ended agreement that would allow them to exit quickly, but also give them an indication that we're serious about having them here.
This agreement comes with a 5-year term. It does give Breeze the option to back out if it needs to, but if Breeze continues to find success in Wicomico County, it also has the option to sign on for an additional 5 years.
Hundreds of online services and platforms are getting back up and running after a widespread outage early Monday. Services affected included Venmo, Snapchat, Facebook, Prime Video, and Amazon's cloud computing, just to name a few. Some airlines, including Delta and United, reported disruptions for some of their systems. Amazon Web Services said Monday that it had issues overall with its cloud service operations.
Ocean City looks to restrict where bikes and scooters can ride. What exactly the council is proposing.
Looks like we're going to be staying really windy. We were today, and we will stay that way tomorrow. But will it lean into Wednesday is the question on the board.
But first, why the new Cape Henlopen School District Superintendent, Dr. Jemmy Nauman, says expansion goals are years away. Up next.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
The Cape Henlopen School District continues to await an answer from the state government on its certificate of necessity.
The big request is expanding the high school in Lewis. Last year, the district put forth referendums for new work to help meet the needs of a growing enrollment. The referendums, though, were rejected by voters.
Cape's new superintendent says the expansion goals are still there, but paying for it is likely several years away.
Saying right now there's not money in the queue for capital projects for fiscal year 26 or 27. So we put in the CN just to keep our spot in the line, because what we're afraid of is if we take it out, then other districts will pop in and it'll put us to the end of the line when it comes to funding and when we can afford it as a state to start approving capital projects again.
You can hear more on Nauman's approach to the district and her views on Delaware's educational ranking during an interview with her coming up on Coast TV News at 6. Coming up next, Paul Williams is in the Coast TV First Alert Weather Center with your full forecasts.
For at least the first few days of this work week, it's really about how many ways the wind is going to kind of twist us up throughout the morning and afternoon hours, particularly for Tuesday and going into Wednesday. But we should catch a little bit of a break after some rain, believe it or not. But in Lewis, as of right now, we are absolutely skyline clear, 65 degrees. Winds right now, very sane at only about 5 miles per hour at Lewis. That's been that way for everybody all day long. We're relatively clear for right now. Cloud cover very limited, but we do have some gusty winds that have prompted the latest small craft advisories from Lewis Beach to Ocean View and all places in between. And that is also inclusive of Ocean City, West Ocean City, Ocean Pines, all the way down towards Chincoteague. Once again, small craft advisory, we're talking about some rather vigorous waves possible there, but mainly it's 25 mile per hour wind gusts. It's going to stay pretty steady, and we have that same concern throughout the entire Chesapeake Bay area, at least until 6 o'clock for this evening. And we're awaiting to see if the National Weather Service extends that a little bit further. Now, we have a trough that's just to our northwest that's going to begin to sweep through our area, and it'll give us a chance of increasing cloud cover, at least for a brief period of time, and a slight, maybe a 40% chance of a spot shower to flare up. That's a big maybe at best, because we have a really dry air at this point. We'll drop down to the lower 50s with mostly clear skies for tonight and relatively calm winds. But think about the winds we've already experienced today, 37 mile per hour wind gusts, for example, in Georgetown alone. So we're just shy of that 40 mile per hour wind gust, and the winds are really the biggest story we're going to deal with. We have temperatures in the 60s for right now. Wind gusts currently at 27 mile per hour gusts in Indian River Inlet, 25 mile per hour wind gusts in Seaford, and 23 in Millsboro. What are we expecting in the immediate future? Winds will shift out of the south, go up to 29 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts from Salisbury to Georgetown, and then they'll be shifting out of the south-southwest, but we'll have that same flaring up and vibrancy of winds really for the next Tuesday, Wednesday, possibly going into Thursday. Now, how serious do we have to take this? I mean, when you're talking about a 3 mile per hour wind, it'll move a maple leaf, not a big deal. But as you get to about 28 miles per hour, you can move a garbage can down the street and have to go chase it. Now, if you're a 175-pound person, 67 mile per hour winds would move you, which means I'm still 20 pounds in the clear on that one, okay? But as you take a look at what's happening with our average car, 90 mile per hour winds, those are literally the impacts of what you can have with winds. And by the way, that's going to be part of our Weather 101 for this week. 70 degrees for us, actually staying breezy for us for tomorrow, 70 for us in Cambridge as well. And we're looking at the winds out of the southwest at 11 to 21 miles per hour, staying very active there. For Tuesday, we anticipate winds out of the southwest and temperatures near the 70-degree mark. We'll cool down to 47 for us on Tuesday, and then by Wednesday, we'll start off in the 50s and end up in the 60s. So for Chincoteague and Assateague, we're watching out for breezy conditions, but manageable, but 68, 69, and 64 in the 60s for the next few days in a row. We'll peak at 71 for Tuesday on Lewis, but then we'll drop down to 64 on Thursday, thanks to the rain and the cold front pushing through. Finally, here's a look at your 7-day forecast, and we are going to cool down significantly before we kick off the next weekend.
Paul, thank you. The city of Harrington is looking to tighten rules for motorized bike and scooter users during tonight's council meeting. There's a first reading of an ordinance aimed at improving safety. The proposed ordinance would ban riders from using motorized devices like e-bikes and e-scooters on public streets and sidewalks unless the power is off. It It would also set age limits, require helmets for minors, and issue fines for violations. City leaders say it's all about keeping everybody safe.
There's more people on them, and some of the young kids don't understand the rules of the road. They're not paying attention, and they're either getting fatally or seriously hurt. And we don't want to see that nowhere, and we definitely don't want to see it in Harrington.
After tonight's first reading, the ordinance will return to council agenda for a second reading. City leaders say they're not sure when that would happen.
Ocean City also looking to restrict where bikes and scooters can ride. Ocean City Council drafting an ordinance restricting bikes and scooters, saying they need to be in the road except for riders under 16 using a non-motorized bike. The OC Council will have a first reading tonight at 6. Coming up tonight on DSN at 8 p.m., it's the 2025 Governor's Challenge Selection Show, and at 10:30 p.m., catch the final score. Along with the main games, the 2025 Governor's Challenge Selection, you can get these exclusives on DSN Plus at 5:30 p.m. St. George's Tech Girls Volleyball and Brandywine, and at 6:45 the Bayside Championship game for boys soccer. Coming up, Ocean City Sunfest starts this week. How you can celebrate the 50th anniversary. Stay tuned on CoastTV News at 5.
With the shoulder season winding down, festivals across Delmarva are offering small businesses one final push. Ocean City, on October 23rd, is the start of Sunfest. It's the 50th anniversary. The festival has live entertainment, arts and crafts, plenty of food and vendors. And to mark the anniversary, this Sunfest will have an interactive mural, an expanded fireworks show, and more. It goes the 23rd through the 26th at the inlet parking lot.
Today, DenRec broke ground on a water park of sorts that's coming to Delmarva summer 2026. Sussex County government representatives say the Cypress Splash Zone will be at Trap Pond State Park near Laurel. There will be 4 separate splash zones designed for specific age groups.
Interesting here, new research shows fewer children are suffering from peanut allergies. Monday, the journal Pediatrics released a study finding a 43% drop in peanut allergies. The shift comes after a big change in national guidance in 2017 that encouraged early peanut introduction for babies. Experts say early exposure helps babies build food tolerance through the gut. The study also found that peanuts are no longer in the top food allergen for young children. That distinction now goes to eggs.
Today, a trial is set to begin for the former deputy charged with killing Sonia Massey. It happened in Springfield, Illinois, after Massey called 911 about a possible prowler in July of 2024. Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson shot Massey while yelling for her to put down a pot of what he thought was boiling water. Graphic video of the incident was caught on police body camera. Grayson is charged with first-degree murder. The county agreed to a $10 million settlement with the Massey's family this year.
A live look outside into Laurel. One more check on the forecast after this. More material from Harper Lee is coming out. Lee is best known for her classic novel To Kill a Mockingbird. For a long time, the literary world thought that was Lee's only major offering, but shortly before her death, Ghost at a Watchman was published. Now, 8 of her new short stories are being released in a collection called The Land of Sweet Forever. These writings were found in Lee's New York City apartment after her death.
Coming up new on CoastTV News at 6, speed cameras activated on Route 1, how much it could cost you.
Probably a lot if you don't pay attention, huh? So looking at Dover, where the temperatures will fall back into the mid-50s, mostly clear skies. We have small craft advisories active along the entire coastline, basically bracing for about 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts. On the other side with Cambridge as well, so please be mindful of that. And as we go into our day-bar forecast, we're looking for temperatures to stay in the near 60s and 70s by the time we get to the afternoon. Our umbrella giveaway winner is Norman Jones of Lincoln. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line. Sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead, Mandalis, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. We'll be okay for tomorrow, but then we start getting kind of chilly. Then we go down to 68, then 65, and 61. And we crack that 61, 61, it's going to feel like 39 in the morning time.
I noticed that 40.
Yeah.
Yesterday it was 41, so I pay attention.
You see it's slowly going?
Yeah, it's going down.
We bit.
All right.
We did.
Well, thank you, Paul. And hey, thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.